What's up everybody, it's Kendra. So yesterday I had a bunch of things on my mind. I kept going through all the things that I needed to do and it was just overwhelming. I realized that I needed to relax my mind, but it wasn't really happening that easily. So then I was like, okay, well then I need to just occupy it. So then that got me thinking about a video idea because, you know, I think sometimes it's hard to actually relax your mind and it's easier to give your mind something else to think about than the 100 things you have to do. So today's video I wanted to talk about activities to occupy or kind of busy your mind. I hope this helps. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if it helps you out or if you just enjoy it. So let's go. Number one is, so I totally meant to say number one is to do word searches, but I'm silly and said crosswords because their names are too similar. Either way, you can do either to occupy your mind, but the information after this is all about word searches. Don't be fooled. Do some crossword puzzles. I have this book that contains, I don't know how many, a lot of crosswords. And a long time ago, I used to just open that book up and do some crosswords when I got kind of overwhelmed, and it helped so much. Your mind is completely invested in the letters and the words and what you're finding, whether it's backwards or forwards, diagonal, up and down, things like that. And your mind's not concentrating on what was previously frustrating your mind. Number two is read a book. If you're doing this to occupy your mind, when you read, make sure to really dive into the book. Concentrate your mind on what you are reading. Think about the characters, think about the plot and what's happening. Think about things that may be happening in the future, about the connections that are in the book, because most books should have that stuff. So if your mind is like focused on that, then it's going to be very occupied, and maybe you'll even forget about all those stresses on your mind in that moment, which is what we're planning to do. That's what we're talking about in this video, so. Number three is to organize. First thing I think of is my closet. Ever since I kind of moved some of my clothes to my dorm, it's like unorganized, and I like all my kind of like jackets together, my tank tops, my short sleeves, long sleeves, sweaters, like things like that. So you don't have to organize your closet, but if you maybe organize your like some drawers, I can't say that word, some drawers you have, maybe you want to organize books or photos or your record collection, any other collection you have, just take some time to organize, because again, I'm gonna say it throughout this whole video, but your mind is going to be thinking about organizing. It's going to be thinking about all the things that go into the organizing, what you're organizing it by, and this is something that occupies your mind in a productive way, which is always good. Like, let's get some stuff done. Number 4 is coloring. So I have one of those like intricate adult coloring books. If you are wanting something like that, definitely recommend. There are so many cool coloring books out there, so they're not just for kids. Get your crayons, get your markers, get some cool colored pencils and color. If you think music will help you, maybe turn on some music while you are coloring. Make sure that they're not songs that are gonna like make you think of the things you were previously thinking about, because I know sometimes like music evokes memories and emotions and stuff like that. Just make sure that if you do turn on music while you're coloring, it's something that's gonna more distract you in a good way. But find a coloring book that will make you relax and that your mind will be invested in. Number 5 is writing. So this is a way that your mind is going to release those thoughts that you are thinking. Whether you are writing a poem, a story, just like a journal entry, maybe you're just randomly writing down your thoughts, it will help so much. Especially if you are writing like a story or a poem, maybe you're able to take your feelings and make them into something else, if you know what I'm saying. Like, you're not just gonna be like, I am sad. Like, it's gonna be disguised in some type of way, but in a creative way. So if you are creative, this is a great thing to release those thoughts in your mind and to occupy it with something else. I like to write poems when my mind is like going crazy. This was in my previous video, but I write in a journal. I try to every night, so that kind of helps me just go through the day and like what happened in it. But if there was like something stressful in the day, then going back to maybe writing some poetry or like a story or just in another notebook some more stuff, it will help a lot. So I guess this is for the more creative person, but I guess if you aren't creative, then the journal entries will probably be a lot easier and better option. Number 6 is cooking. So I don't personally do this when my mind is thinking about all the things I have to do, but I was thinking and I felt like it would be something that if you do really like to cook, then I feel like it could work wonders. Your mind could no longer be occupied with all the things you have to do. It's going to maybe be occupied with, you have to measure this and you have to heat this to this temperature and all these ingredients and you have to stir and whisk and do all this stuff. So you're going to be thinking about that and concentrating on what you are cooking, what you are doing, instead of, again, the stuff that you were thinking about before. 7, we have another productive one, cleaning. Now, if you don't like cleaning, obviously don't do this because you're just going to be miserable. But if maybe your room's a mess and you are like, well, cleaning doesn't make me a sad person, then go ahead, like, clean. You're gonna be thinking about where you need to put stuff. You're gonna be thinking about just cleaning. Like, I could maybe see my mind trailing off if I was trying to clean, but usually when I clean things, I end up finding like reminiscent kind of stuff, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know I had that, or oh, that's cute, I remember that time that I got that. Like, it's just a good thing to put your mind on something else rather than all the things you're worrying about. So if you want to be productive, again, besides organizing, clean. The last one I thought of is starting a new project or like craft, DIY kind of thing. When I am invested in doing like a new creative project, I want to get it done. Like, I'm not thinking about anything else. I am thinking about what I am doing. So if you think that, again, you are a creative person and maybe your mind being stimulated on something other than what you're worrying about would help in a creative way, then start a new project. Maybe you've been wanting to start something for a while and you're like, oh, might as well start it now. It'll get my mind off what I'm thinking about for a little bit and just do something creative. Alright, so even though I'm guessing this is going to end up being a pretty short video, I hope you guys enjoyed it and found some ways to get your mind off of the things you have to do for a little bit. Obviously, you have to do those things that are probably running through your mind, but sometimes you just need a break. If it is really late and your mind is going a mile a minute, just try one of these things and then try going to sleep. I hope you have an amazing day or night, whatever it is for you. I hope you're not worrying too much and your mind can be occupied by something else or relaxed if you're lucky. And I will catch you in the next video.